Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Under Hood Show. My name's Josh Profit. I'm the service director here at Hambelton Ford, and alongside me today is Scotty Gurman. Good morning, Scotty.
Good morning. How's it going?
Man, going great. Got everything up and rolling this morning, and we're moving down the quick lane already, and the main store as well. So, this is a call-in show. 316-462-3673. Call in. We'll take any questions. It's your show, so whatever you want to talk about, give us a call, and let's talk about anything automotive related. You want to talk about vehicle maintenance, cars acting weird or goofy, and want to know maybe what's going on with it, give us a call and let's see how we can help you out from that. Want to talk about new vehicle products, MH Ford Racing, from that side of things, give us a call, 316-462-3673. For every caller that calls into the show, you'll get a prize package, which is valued at over $130. We're going to mail it out to you, but it'll consist of the works, which is an oil change and tire rotation. We use Motorcraft oil and filter products here at Hambelton Ford. While we're performing that, we're also going to complete a multi-point inspection on your vehicle, checking over the brakes, tires, steering, suspension, all the safety-related components on that vehicle, making sure that it's ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. You'll also receive $10 to Mel's Diner, so you can get yourself something to eat and drink while you're here with us at the Big Corner, as well as complete nitrogen for your tires, so you get all the great benefits that nitrogen has to offer. And then a BG products package, which is going to consist of a can of MOA or motor oil additive for your engine oil, and then CF5 for your fuel system. Again, just getting that vehicle geared up and ready to go for that next 5,000 miles of driving. So let's get the phones ringing, 316-462-3673. So, well, Scotty, I've got a list of things to discuss here today. But so Scotty is one of the service consultants here at the dealership, and your role is one of the things that I wanted to talk about today. We often talk about the technicians in the back of the shop and their role and the importance that they play in this environment and what we do. And it is a left-hand, right-hand thing for sure. I mean, you can't have one without the other. And it's so crucial that the steps that you take, to get that vehicle on the right path are crucial, to make sure that it's going into the right technician, and that we're looking into the right thing, because you can be off. And lead a technician maybe down a wrong path from that side of things too.
Absolutely. This is actually I'm coming up on 10 years being with Hambelton Ford, and I enjoy it. It's been an excellent place for me. It's a fun job, man. But absolutely, it's something that's very important to be able to relay the information from a customer to a technician, especially whenever you've been doing it for so long. Just trying to make it an easy experience and carefree experience, gaining those trust from customers and being able to help them in any way I can.
What really got you into the automotive industry? I mean, I don't think, in previous conversations, this is not something that like you set out to do. You just kind of stumbled into it, which I think happens to a lot of people in the industry. But
no, absolutely. This was actually something I just kind of started in college, started at a lube shop and tires and stuff like that, learning basic automotive knowledge. And then it just kind of went from there. I wanted to get into more advanced automotive knowledge, and being able to use that experience to my advantage, and kind of just work my way to Hambelton Ford. Came in to pick up a part one time and ended up having a meeting with the manager and
walked out with the job.
So, and it's been one of the best decisions ever since. So 10 years, it's just kind of crazy, man.
Yeah. So, for those of you that are listening, as far as the service consulting side of things, it's really the liaison between the technician and the customer from that side. And so it's really taking what a customer is saying and what they're experiencing, and being able to transfer that in technical terms to a technician from that side of it. But there's so many different things or situations that I can think of that we get involved with on the customer side of things, especially with these vehicles, and how they're always evolving and changing, and new products, and how something works. And I mean, it may be as simple as just not understanding operation. at times, and for a customer to have to check a vehicle in thinking that there's something wrong with it when it's merely just an operational side of things, and being able to discern that to the customer is so important.
Absolutely.
You know?
And the technology for diagnosis has gotten exponentially better. Just over the last couple of years, I know that Ford vehicles have the ability to ping Wi-Fi whenever it has an issue. The vehicle does not even have to necessarily come into the dealership. If it's an intermittent issue that happens, we have the ability to actually look up and see what codes may have happened in a particular time. Now, granted, obviously, it's for, I think, vehicles 2018 and newer that have a certain package or whatever. But with that being the case, it helps us to be able to diagnose an intermittent issue, and it helps the technician, helps me, helps the customer, try to get them to only come in one time as opposed to multiple times trying to figure out the same issue.
You know, that's really the goal, is to get everything as dressed as quick as possible, as soon as possible, and with as least amount of inconvenience to the customer.
Absolutely.
You know, from that side for sure. And with the technology, it's great.
Yeah.
You know, but it can also be the other side of it, is that, you know, it becomes more complex to work on. And,
right.
You know, that's one of the things that in this industry over the years that I've seen, is the guy that is at home working, you know, in the driveway with a set of basic hand tools, and doing certain things to his vehicle, is really kind of become a thing of the past.
Right.
You know, and I encourage everybody to know how to do that, and you know how to change a tire, know how to change your oil, and stuff like that. But I happened to walk in with you and a conversation that you were having the other day with an individual in regards to something as simple as an oil change. And you know, the statement was, you know, why would you do that? Why would you change your own oil? And kind of, I'll let you go from there as to why, you know, why you were asking that, which is, you were making a great point with them, you know, from that side of it. But
the other thing was that it was an actual employee as well. So he was, you know, why would you change your own oil whenever you wouldn't have a certified Ford mechanic be able to do it for practically the same price, or even less than what you could buy the oil filter, disposal fee, and everything that comes with it, to allow us to do it. And you have somebody who's inspecting the vehicle, the value of having us do it compared to you just going home and doing it yourself. First of all, you're getting under a vehicle, you're on the ground. It's not like it's a I don't know, a beautiful process of any kind. You know what I mean? You're getting dirty. And it's just, you know, it's a 2-hour long process for you. It's just the pros outweigh the cons for allowing a certified shop like Mel Hambelton Ford to be able to do it at the quick lane. And then you get an inspection that comes along with it to let you know anything that you don't even know about. That's another big thing.
And, you know, there's so many different things that I think of that we do, initially starting up with just the write-up process. You know, just in that process alone, you know, we're running the vehicle and checking for recalls. You know, if there's anything outstanding from the manufacturer, whether that vehicle's 6 months old or 6 years old or 12 years. You know what I'm saying? That part of the process is the same, and recalls pop up all the time on vehicles. And when a recall is put out to a vehicle, it's so specific as far as you know, that they're looking at a specific set of VIN numbers that those applies to. And so you know, the that's just the start of that process. What are some of the other things that we do along that process of check-in, that, you know, if you got a guy in a garage, you know, doing something at home that he's not getting?
You're not getting your alignment checked as you drive into the there it is, so right there. Greg Murray did that alignment check. As you drive onto our service drive, either the quick lane facility or the main dealership for major diagnosis, you are getting your alignment checked immediately after you drive into the door. Which you're not going to get at home in your garage. You're going to get your fluids checked. You're going to get your battery checked. You're going to get a lot of things just with the equipment that we have at our disposal, free of charge to the customer, of all kinds of things that we're going to check. And it's just going to be an automatic process for us that's going to benefit our customers.
You know, and that's one of the things that we meet relatively often on the
Yeah.
on the service side of things with advisors, technicians, pretty much every department.
Yeah.
We get together pretty often, and just with the change in technology, change in vehicles, process changes, as many people as there are employed, at Mel Hambelton Ford, it's a necessary thing to do. But in that, we discuss a lot of times in those meetings that when you get to doing something day to day, day in and day out, you just become numb to it, or I guess calloused about it. And I try to remind everybody, and sometimes need reminded of it myself, is that, hey, a customer that is coming into our environment or situation, abbreviations, they don't know what a TPMS sensor is, or a TP sensor, or,
PCM, anything. Yeah.
And so it's very easy for us in the industry to be around it day in and day out and become familiar with these terms and use them frequently. The other side of it is when you have certain processes that you do or steps that you do, it just becomes second nature to do them and not talk about them.
Right.
And so a consumer coming in may not even understand what all's going on, just because for us, we just do it. We just go. And especially at the rate sometimes in which we're rolling around here, is that you gotta, okay, hold on, time out. Let's explain what we're doing, why we're doing it. So the customer really understands what's going on here.
Yeah.
And just those couple of processes that we've already talked about is perfect examples of that.
Absolutely. I mean, and there's tons of other things that I missed. I know, like, just measuring the tread depths of your tires is one of the things.
Yep.
We do a 360 view around the vehicle of taking pictures, and we do that for multiple reasons. But there's a lot of people that don't even see the passenger side of their car.
Yeah.
That's one thing that is just a part of the service of driving in for a basic oil change or anything for that matter. And it's a benefit to every single customer that drives through that door.
Sure. I got Delbert logged on here, says good morning, guys.
Good morning, Delbert.
Good morning, Delbert. So, but yeah, so we're talking about as far as the write-up process. The other side of that is, the maintenance interval recommendations that you guys would provide for customers, and that's one thing. You got somebody that's at home working in the drive on their vehicle, and they're changing the oil. I mean, their goal is to change the oil, to get the oil changed. Our goal is to service it, inspect the whole vehicle, get a condition on the whole vehicle, and then just make sure that there's any other needs or services that vehicle has to at least let you know. As a consumer, if you want them, great. If you don't want them, it's your vehicle,
right?
From that side of things. But to have somebody that's certified for that vehicle, but then also to have somebody that has seen that vehicle more times, probably in the same day that you've brought the vehicle in, and knowing, what are the high wear items, what are this is pretty common for these types of vehicles. This is something that we don't see as often. They can kind of focus in or zone in on those items and potentially save some trouble down the road for somebody.
Absolutely. I know it's a little joke, but it's kind of funny when a customer will come in to check on a vehicle and they're, I'm here to check on the F-150, and I just want to go, which one? We legitimately see the same vehicle tens of times, and technicians the same way. It's amazing of the experience that these guys have gained just over the years of working on these vehicles, the knowledge that they know something about a vehicle before they pull it in just by the write-up. So they are already in a direction, and that's been years of experience that they've gained to be able to know that. And that's one of the many benefits of coming here. But there are several others. I mean, it's just one of those things with us being as busy as we are. It's a blessing. It really is.
Yeah. So as far as kind of the write-up process, I mean, checking over the recalls, doing drive alignment check, and going over tread depths, a good walk around of the vehicle, checking the battery is another thing, from that side of things. Now it goes back to a technician. I mean, what are some of the reasons that Why would you have a certified technician here do it as opposed to somebody at home doing it?
Well, kind of the same thing along the lines of what I just said. They know what they're looking for. They also are already with our oil change. It includes a tire rotation, so there are other things that they're going to check with the wheels off. They're going to obviously inspect for any maintenance size. We're already checking that as service advisors, anyways. As far as maintenance service intervals, we have the ability to go up and look up the vehicle. A lot of things that what BG suggests at particular mileages, things that'll benefit the customer. And the other thing is Ford is interested in selling you vehicles as opposed to they're more interested in selling. Phil tells me all the time they're more interested in selling you vehicles every 5 years than they are of preserving this vehicle to last you several years. And that's what we're in the business of doing as a service department, is to make sure we make it as simple of a life of this vehicle with the least amount of problems for you, just by you maintaining the vehicle. And there are several things that we can do with that. And a technician is going to look out for those things too. So you have two people that are in your corner trying to make sure that we keep this vehicle at top-notch shape by whatever maintenance services, and just checking to make sure everything's okay.
So the other side of that, I mean, well, here, let's go. We got Rex is on there. He says, Scotty, he wants you to give your best Phil Nightingale impression. So you got that ready to go? Or
as
you
far
ready
as
to throw that out there?
I could kind of do his laugh whenever he makes a funny joke or does something funny. Just
so yeah, Phil is not with us today. He is up in Hayes running races. So went up there, and I think they practiced on Thursday night and raced last night, and sounds like things went really well for him. Had a good practice, a good B feature, and then moved on into the A, and not exactly sure how that finished out for him. Maybe we'll get a phone call from him here a little later with an update for that. But I know he's excited to be up there and race up there. So you got a thumbs up on your
there
impression.
We go. So, there you go, Rex.
just like that. So while we're talking to that, we'll come back to this portion of what we were talking about. But while we're on MH Ford Racing, there was a couple things that I wanted to talk about there. So one, Phil was up in Hayes. They're racing up there last night, and then they'll be doing it again tonight as well. One of the other things, we're out at Bar to Bar. Bar to Bar has their AMA Loretta Lynn, the Central Area Qualifiers going on. I think they started that on Thursday and yesterday. We've got our event trailer out there servicing that, and talked to Tyler later yesterday, and man, he's moving out there. They got a lot of riders out there qualifying for that. Had a great day yesterday. But if you're looking for something to do, that'd be a great place. Go out to Bar to Bar out on 61st Street and watch that. There's racing today, all day today, and then again tomorrow for sure. So that'd be very, very cool. The other thing I wanted to talk about a little bit was our Traxxas jump that we did.
That's
last,
cool.
I think it was Sunday out at Bar to Bar. So I know Phil wants to divulge some of that as well, but that went really well. So the remote control car Traxxas jump, the challenge that we had out at Bar to Bar, the sledge ended up beating all of the other cars by a long shot. But what I will tell you is those boys came back on Monday morning, and there was probably, I don't know, I want to say 3 or 4 cars that had multiple pieces to one car that they were needing to repair. However, I'm pretty sure it was a kamikaze mission because those cars had jumped multiple times trying to beat. It wasn't just one shot and lost it. It was I'm going for broke here on that side. So
that's a cool thing, man. Whenever those Traxxas came into the parts department and overfilled that thing, it was pretty cool to watch. It was something that was really new to me. I didn't even know this, but my dad actually has a Traxxas remote control car, and he found out that we are a dealer now, and he's pumped
all about it.
He's all about it.
So it is a very addictive hobby, I guess I should say, from that side of things. And then I don't know, you get one and then you get another one, and you got to race them naturally, and then try and run them into each other and jump them and everything else, and then you got to go faster and quicker and bigger, and so it's definitely addictive hobby, but they've got that going on over there as well. So, but yeah, if you're looking for something to do today out at Bar to Bar is the place to be for sure for all the motocross action. So, let's see. Delbert says, "Yeah, wake up, Phil. Call him." So
I assure you, Phil is awake.
Yeah, no, I've already been getting texts, and we've been working back and forth on a couple of different things.
Phil's been up since 5.
Yeah, for sure, making things happen up there. So, let's go along and going back to the service side of things, and we talk about it all the time on the show for the technicians again, but training. Something that these guys focus on and what they do, they're always training, from that side. But what does it mean for you and your role on training and what's out there for you and things like that?
I mean, it makes sense, but training for both of us. The thing is when new vehicles are coming out, there are new technologies, and most of those technologies can be safety related. A lot of them just has to deal with functionality with vehicles, new things that are coming out with these vehicles that we've never seen before. So naturally, as a service advisor and as a technician, we are constantly training on new technologies coming out with these vehicles so we can better understand them, so we can help a customer who has questions. A lot of times, like I can remember when the 10-speed transmission came out for the F-150 and things like that, they shift differently than your standard transmission used to, and they feel different. And so when a customer's driving one and thinks that there's an actual problem, it turned out being something that's, just a characteristic of this transmission that's completely normal. But even just things as easy as like when the Mach-E comes out and all of a sudden there's all these electronic things of, how it's charging and how to set it up to help with the most, efficient way of driving these electric vehicles. All kinds of things come into play. So there's tons of things like that.
Phil, how's it going?
Hey, good buddy. How are you?
Doing great here. So can you give us an update of what's happening out there?
Well, it's pretty damn cold. You want to know the truth?
Yeah, I got that text last night. I was wondering how that car was performing in that cooler weather, but it looked like you were doing pretty good there for a while.
Yeah, it's the old cold weather does affect these cars who run on alcohol instead of gas, and it takes a little bit to get them warmed up and everything else too. But they had a hard time getting track under control with this cold weather, and I feel for them. I understand it's kind of hard to get that done, but we kind of had a rough track, but it's hard to do that in this cold weather and try to figure out how much water to put on and everything else. And so it's a hard battle, but we everybody races the same tracks. You got to go for it, everything else. But we started 6th in our heat, finished 4th, so that qualified us to start the B, and we got 2nd in the B. That started us 15th in the A, and that's kind of where we hung out back there and got involved in a couple crashes. So today we've got got a little bit of body work to go take care of. We can race this evening. So we'll getting up here in a little bit and head back to the track. But it's 32 degrees here today, gentlemen.
Ooh.
Wow. Yeah.
Put on a coat.
Yeah, at least
more coat.
At least maybe 2. Well, how about the car count? They got a good car count up there?
Yeah, it was a good car count. This is the first race of the season for Hayes, so everybody's excited to get out and race and everything else like that. But yeah, a lot great car count. Car count was good. A lot of good competition and stuff out there too. Of course, our teammate Tanner Mullins jumped in an IMCA car last night. He kind of smoked everybody up last night. So, we'll kind of see whatever happens tonight again. We'll go back through and do another complete show and see what happens. So,
well, that's very exciting. I know it's been a long off season, I guess, and then with the slow start to last year, it's everybody's anxious and ready to go. I'm sure to get out and get to burning up some tires, so to speak, from that side of it. So that's very exciting.
Well, we're doing that. We are burning up some tires.
I'm sure you are.
So what's the schedule like for tonight?
Same kind of schedule. It looks like hot laps at 5, racing at 6, and it's another complete show just like last night. So I don't know if it pays more tonight or not. I didn't look at that part of the situation, but
what was it to win last night?
2,500 to win last night.
Yeah, very cool. And track size, what is that up there?
It's a big 3/8, but the corners are very wide and sweeping and stuff too. But it'll be interesting tonight to see if they can get that track to be little wider than it was last night, and get some more racing grooves going there and stuff too. But I'm telling you, I feel for those guys trying to put that track together, because it was hard with that cold weather, the wind, and then because you don't want to put too much water on, because then you can't get it worked in with this cold weather and stuff too. So
wind just comes along and dries it right out, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So
we'll
see how they get done tonight.
And that is one thing, I guess the track always makes I guess a difference, or I don't know is that you could ever make a perfect track from that side of things. There's always going to be somebody that's probably unhappy with it.
Probably.
The other side of that is everybody's racing on the same one,
That's right. Somebody's always unhappy about the track.
For sure.
I tell you, you're not going to hear me complain about the track. I couldn't do it, and any better than anybody else could do it from that part. So like you said, everybody races the same track. You got to figure out how to drive the car and get after it, set the car up for that track, and go.
Well, very good. Well, we're making things happen back here for sure, and talking about on the service advisor side of things, the importance of that role, and just also kind of the explanation of that role and what it takes. It's definitely a vital role in the organization to make things smooth for the customer and make the service experience a positive experience for the customer for sure. So.
Well, that's exactly right. Scotty, you do that every day in and out for us. Appreciate everything you do there. But being a knowledgeable advisor and being able to get that customer the right information to take care of their car, because everybody's driving habits is different, and what they need to do to that car to maintain it, and giving their options. And if they want to repair their car, great. If they don't, that's their choice too. But it is a vital role of taking care of your car.
Absolutely. Yeah. The more knowledge and the more information that we can give somebody about their vehicle and let them make the most educated decision on maintaining their vehicle it goes a long way. That's us doing our job.
It's like I said on several shows before and everything else too, is what's in that owner's manual. And I know you probably fight this a lot, Scotty. People say, it's not the owner's manual says this, the owner's manual says that, but remember, that owner's manual is what the minimum you need to do to maintain your car. The manufacturer cares nothing but to get you through that warranty period, and that's it. So
I think I legitimately said that about 15 minutes before Phil got on the phone.
Yeah. Hey, so while you're on the phone, you want to talk about the Traxxas jump the other day? How'd that work out?
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It was a lot of fun. I can't wait to kind of grow that thing up a little bit. I don't know. I think we had about 10 cars jumping out there, and I think they all jumped 2 to 3 times each. And we tore some stuff up, but Jake took off with the old sledge and kind of zinged her out there pretty good. But I would love to see that jump thing turn into, like a point series or something like that, or from that standpoint. And Bruce and I out there at Bar to Bar talked about that Sunday, about trying to figure out a way to get that into a kind of like a little series or a little something, do it quite often out there, or do something out there to have that. But I can see that turning into be a pretty cool deal, and everybody trying to build the car up and everything else too. We walked into there and we thought we were going to get beat because we just had the old stock tires on there and stuff, and these guys had paddle tires on everything else too. But it'll be interesting to see what the next time around when somebody comes up with to try to jump in there too and see what can happen.
There's always there's always competition after the second car is built.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So it's Jake's ready to go. He's ready to start building something just for the jump and everything else too. It'll be fun because other guys will step up too. And I was on the phone with several people this week that talked about how they want to build something and what the car to do and all that kind of stuff and how to put it together. So I do think this will be a fun challenge and stuff too. The other thing we're going to do too is we bought a timing system to actually do the drags with these little cars.
Yep.
So we got to get something put up with that too. 132 feet. And, we did it at the race open house with the concrete, the asphalt out there was so dang cold and everything else like that. It didn't do very well. But once we get some heat out there, it'll be fun, excited to see what these things could do on a drag strip too.
Yeah, I was watching, we got the video rolling on the showroom there and watched a lot of that video. And man, all them guys, you'd have a lot of times the slower car kind of have the advantage because the faster car just do donuts right there at the start line. And, I guess that's, again, everybody's racing on the same track. So it comes down to the driver at that point, I guess. So
there you go. That's exactly right, man. Exactly. So, it'll be fun to see what these tracks goes. And, I still kind of remember when the guys came to Lisa and I and said, hey, we're thinking about doing this. And, I knew it would be fun. I knew it would be great and everything, but I had no idea it would be the magnitude that it is right now. The amount of people who are coming and buying these Traxxas cars, and it's kind of crazy. It's all the way from the young kids all the way to grown adults that are racing these things.
Employees are buying these things and racing them around. They're fun. It's true.
Scotty, how many you got?
I don't have one yet. I guess my dad does. My dad has 2 of them, so I get to play with those.
Well, you need to get in there and get stepped up there, buddy.
Okay.
After the show, that's where we're at.
Yeah, that's where we're headed.
He's going to get hooked up. So
yeah.
I mean, Scotty, if Shannon Burton can have 2 boats, we have one.
True.
So the other day I walked back there and they just about got me. I walked by and there's a F450 over there, and it is like a replica to a brand new F450. And I was like, I mean, even the length of the thing, I was like, man, that is like a 32-point turn vehicle if I ever see one. And I don't know, I was impressed with it. It even has receiver hitches on the front and the back of it. Like, that is awesome. So
pretty crazy.
Yeah. It is pretty crazy.
Very exciting for sure. Well, I can hear your phone already blowing up in the background back there, and I'm sure you got some race cars to thrash on and work on and stuff like that. So,
we're getting ready to head back after we had a little work ahead of us yesterday. We didn't have much to do yesterday. We hung out in the trailer quite a bit, but boy, today we got some work ahead of us to put the old Team 3J car back together and get it on the racetrack and stuff too. Got a lot of maintenance to do to it, of course, as always, but we'll go try it again tonight and see what happens.
So as part of the show in the beginning of this, we were talking about a guy, servicing his vehicle at home in his garage or in the driveway versus in a shop environment. You're kind of experiencing some of that today. How much difference is it in working in an environment like this, working roadside and servicing that thing and fixing it up?
Well, let me tell you, I would 10 times rather be sitting in Wichita, Kansas, with the big corner, in that stall, servicing this thing up, than rather I'm going to be out here in the cold on a dirt floor and everything, dirt out there, and trying to pan out these body panels and put a bumper on it and get it all serviced up. I'd 10 times rather be sitting in there in the dealership helping, doing it there than out here. That's for sure.
Well, and just, I mean, how much of a, maybe not so much a better job, but quicker and, just handier and stuff like that for sure. Having the right tools and equipment it just makes the world of difference.
Oh, tons. That's a ton difference. And, just having the lift, be able to get underneath it and everything else too. Yeah. It's, having the right tools, having the right equipment is definitely a home run for sure.
Yeah, understand that. Well, good luck to you guys tonight, and make it happen out there.
Yep, go get them.
Well, it's not going to be from lack of effort. We're going to go do it. See what we can do. Promise you that. So,
yeah.
Anyway, gentlemen, thanks for taking care of the show while I'm gone, and we'll see you guys Monday morning.
All right, buddy.
Have a good one.
See you, man.
Bye. Rex says Scotty does a better fill than Phil.
I think you might have a fan there. I don't know.
Well, after 10 years, you pick up some stuff, and it just kind of happens.
Yeah, there you go. Well, good deal. So, we were talking about the importance of training and how you train, or what information is provided to you to be able to do that, through Ford. And I would say probably the number one thing is just new products.
Yeah.
Because this industry is always changing.
Absolutely. And Ford sends us information that we are tested on, I want to say monthly. I mean, it just kind of depends on everything that comes out, but we're kind of the front line for you. I mean, we want to be able to get a phone call about a simple issue and either be able to talk it through over the phone sometimes if we can, to eliminate a visit if we can, things like that. But these training things they're so important for not just myself, obviously technicians, but to be able to help you with any kind of questions that you guys have. And that's what makes us certified advisors and certified technicians, is the more that we know, it's not going to be the first time messing with this particular issue when a vehicle comes in. We're obviously well prepared, we're well equipped, and that's why we're the best.
Yep, for sure. So what are some of the things that you see on a day-to-day basis that customers are just really unaware of, when it comes to maintenance, or what, pretty much everybody knows they need an oil change.
Yeah.
Outside of that, what are some of the things that you see as far as like wear and tear on a vehicle that are good preventative measures that customers just really don't understand?
There are tons and tons and tons of things. You're exactly right, though. People know just from over time, everything's always been the same. You change your oil. You change your oil and everything will be okay. Anymore, the design of these engines, the combustion, the way these engines work, have changed over the years. We've talked, I'm sure, on this show about fuel induction services and things like that. You now have injectors inside the combustion chamber as opposed to being outside. That is going to cause some side effects. While they're more efficient in certain regards, it also makes them easily gummed up and things like that. So there are services to maintain your vehicle, just like an oil change, that has a certain suggested mileage that you want to do to be able to make them efficient. We actually talked about this last night with our quick lane manager, Kelly Hambelton. Just sitting around talking about the EPR service that we do. We had a Ford Fusion. I think it was like right around, I don't want to say it was like 75,000 miles. And we checked compression as a 4-cylinder and checked compression, and it was all over the place. It was anywhere from like 136, 132, 134, right around in there. After doing the EPR service with an oil change, it ended up restoring it completely back, running amazingly, and I think all the way across it was 140. So those are just a couple services that affect how vehicles need to be serviced nowadays.
Scotty, I'm gonna have to put you on hold right there. We've got a caller on the line. Mike, you're on live with Under the Hood. Go ahead.
How are you guys doing today? Thanks for taking my call.
Absolutely, doing great.
I just had a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a 2003 Chevy Silverado, and my dad changed the oil. It was my grandfather's truck. He passed away, and my dad changed the oil in it, and he put mobile oil in, synthetic oil, just mobile synthetic oil. Well, I've been using the truck, and I changed the oil, and I put Pennzoil synthetic oil in. And my dad came all unhinged on us to put the wrong kind of oil in it. Is it going to matter if you put mobile oil in or the synthetic Pennzoil? Is that going to hurt it changing brands?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different things that I would say there. About roughly how many miles are on this thing?
Like 108,000.
108,000. Yeah. And is it, do you know, is it burning oil or consuming any oil in between oil changes?
I was just changing the oil every 3,000 miles.
Yeah.
So we always just change it every 30.
So on the brand side of things, to go from one oil to another oil, it's really just a matter of user preference from that side of things. As long as you're using a good quality oil, which both of those individuals make, a good quality oil. Now, to move from conventional oil or to a semi-synthetic or even a full synthetic, which it sounds like you've done in this vehicle, again, that's I would personally, if the vehicle has 100,000 miles on it and it's always been changed with a semi-synthetic oil or conventional oil, I would stick with that. To switch at 100,000 miles, probably not going to.
It's always been synthetic oil.
Has it? Okay. Yeah.
So you just went from one brand of synthetic to another brand of synthetic. That's all I did.
Yeah. So from that point of view, it's really just a consumer preference. Is it going to hurt anything? No, it's not going to hurt anything at all.
As long as the weights are the same, you shouldn't.
Yeah, everything was the same. Because my grandpa had it since 2003, and he made it all synthetic since he had it. But when he passed away, Dad put the same kind of oil Grandpa put in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know what they put in, so I knew it was synthetic, but I didn't know what they used. Well, I used Pennzoil, so that's what I used. And Dad got all upset that I put the wrong kind of oil in. I'm going to tear the engine up.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was really what was going to happen. I thought as long as it's the same brand or the same weight, you'd be okay. And it's all synthetic. So that's kind of what I was asking. It's not going to hurt anything. So I can tell my dad, it's not going to screw up the engine. It's okay.
Yeah. Really the most important thing from that side of things is not switching weights, staying with whether it was conventional, going back with conventional, whether it was semi-synthetic, going back with semi-synthetic, or whether it was synthetic, staying with synthetic from that side. And then honestly, the most important thing all around is just good intervals. Don't extend intervals because it has synthetic in it, or just be on a consistent basis and keep those intervals the same from that side. So no, that's a great question, and hope we answered it for you.
Oh yeah, because it's got one of those meters on that tells you the percentage of oil life. And once it goes down to zero, we always change the oil. And like I said, I was been borrowing the truck since my car's messed up. So I've been using my grandpa's truck.
Yeah. So
I used it for 3,000 miles. So I was like, I better change the oil. So I changed it, and he got mad I didn't use Mobil. He
yeah.
thought Mobil was better than Pennzoil.
So
So
going
I wasn't sure.
talking in regards to those oil change intervals, is I am a big advocate for going off of time and mileage and not the oil change interval. And
Yes.
and here's the reason why, is because some of those are strictly just a mileage trip or a trip basically, but a lot of the newer vehicles, it's an algorithm, and so it goes off of several components. It goes off of
Engine
hours, it goes off of time, mileage, things like that. But what it does not take into consideration is weather conditions, driving, whether you're taking short trips, long trips. It's strictly just a computerized algorithm based upon certain characteristics. And so someone that gets up in the morning and starts their vehicle and drives 2 blocks to work or 3 blocks to work and shuts their vehicle off, they're going to need to change their oil sooner than somebody that starts their vehicle, runs it for 5 hours, down the highway, and shuts it off, and is able to bake all of that condensation or moisture out of the engine. That's what produces sludge and goes down there. So I'm definitely a huge advocate for a time and mileage interval, and not the oil change maintenance minders on these vehicles for sure. There was it was a couple years ago, one of the manufacturers actually came out with a service bulletin because they were not changing it often enough, and it was sludging up engines at 30, 40, 50, 60,000 miles. They were getting too much sludge buildup in it, and so they kind of had to back off what they were how their maintenance minders were coming on. So you definitely time and mileage, and the best thing you can do for that vehicle is just continue on good routine maintenance or service intervals for sure.
And not to mention, especially in the state of Kansas, when you have the extreme weathers of stuff they don't talk about in the Bible, when you've got snow blizzards and thunder behind it, and then going to 70 degrees the next morning. It's what Josh is saying is exactly right. Time mileage is probably the thing to go off of, instead of those percentages that shows what your percentage is on the oil life.
I got another quick question for you.
Go for it.
When I changed the oil, I forgot to put the oil cap back on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys still the oil caps where you guys are?
We do. Yeah. We have oil caps here, and be more than happy to get you squared away. And we need to get that on. Not necessarily to keep stuff from getting out, but from debris and getting in from that side of things. So, but we have oil caps down here. So, all right.
Okay, great.
Perfect.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good afternoon.
You too. Thanks for the call. Have a great evening. All right, bye. Again, call-in show 316-462-3673. That's the number to jump on the air here. If you got any automotive questions, we can help you out with them. I got a couple of comments here. Got good morning, Goose. Yeah, he's up with us as well. So they had the opener out at the KID last week, and that went last weekend, and that went real well as well, or real good as well. So got a lot of great things kicking off the racing season, and that's one of the things. Definitely very excited to see where that goes out there for sure. So
in full effect. It was a little rough one last year. It was a lot of curiosity of whether or not they were going to have that big of a season because of everything that was going on. So it sounds like this one's in full swing. Yeah.
Very, very exciting. So, but, before we were taking that call, we were talking about, things that you've seen that would help customers prolong their vehicle life that really they don't know other than just an oil change. And I don't know, before the show, we kind of talked about a couple of different scenarios that actually happened to you this week.
Yeah.
I had
quite a few. One of them was it actually ended up being a lot bigger deal than what we initially thought. I had a vehicle come in with a coolant leak. which we ended up finding where the coolant leak was. And during the process of replacing what part we found leaking, we ended up finding out that somebody had put stop leak in the cooling system, which then in part actually plugged up the heater core, which made it a bigger repair because of adding those particular additives. Now, granted, I don't know what kind of history that you've had with somebody putting in stop leak, but almost every single time that it's happened to me, it has more or less caused a problem than it has done any kind of a service to a customer. It's ended up costing that customer more because of putting that stuff in. What do you think?
Man, there's a lot of products out on the market. And just as a consumer, you really got to be cautious in what you buy from that side of things. And you can buy or you can find just about a product for any need. But anytime, and they have them for this type of product for just about every fluid on the vehicle.
Yeah.
Whatever's going on. But if they have to put a chemical in it that would make it stop somehow, and so if that's what they're advertising, but what the consumers aren't thinking is, that's gonna cause other problems, in the coolant type situation. If it's gonna gum up to plug a leak, it's gonna gum up passages.
It's gonna restrict
it's
everywhere
gonna
else.
Restrict everywhere else, and so it might be a temporary fix to a problem that you're currently having, but a long-term effect is that eventually that problem is going to get worse, even if it does take care of it at the exact time. Long term, it's going to get worse, and it's going to be a problem yet again.
Absolutely.
But then also, not only are you going to have to deal with that, now you're going to have to deal with whatever effect that it caused on the whole rest of the cooling system in this particular situation. And I've seen products in steering systems, with power steering systems. I've seen it with transmissions, and typically when you get involved in a power steering or a transmission issue, that stuff is designed to go in and soften the seals and kind of make them swell to help them seal tighter. Well, again, that works for a little bit, but now you're not only doing damage to the one component or the one seal that was causing an issue, you're doing it to every one of them in that system or in that vehicle. And so it's I've never been an advocate for putting any type of those additives or repair in a can
there you
in a
go.
vehicle.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to, obviously we have BG products that make additives for certain things like the EPR that I was talking about before, but anything to try and quick fix something like a stop leak, and almost every single time it's been used on a repair that I've been a part of, it has been counterintuitive. It has normally done more damage because there are more parts that end up having to be replaced because of what that has affected on other parts. So we had one this week. Now, granted, the vehicle's fixed and running the way that it's supposed to be, but it could have easily been less expensive for the customer if that was not put in.
Hey, we've got a comment here from Goose out at KID. Goose, if you're still on with us, call in here and let's discuss this. Give us a call here, Goose, 316-462-3673. If I don't hear from you a little bit, then I'll read this deal here. But yeah, let's call in and let's talk about what's going on out at KID here coming up. So yeah, that's some very exciting news. So we'll get him patched through and get that out there to everybody as well. But if not, I'll read it off there. But sure, yeah, that's very exciting. So, and then going from there, what else have you seen this week?
Another one, and I've talked about it on the show before, but a lot of times we get customers that come in with all-wheel drive vehicles that ended up needing tires. And whenever you have a vehicle that ends up needing tires with an all-wheel drive vehicle, there is a reason why we suggest to replace all 4 of them at the same time and not 2 at a time. We had a customer that came in that normally did not do service with us and came in on an all-wheel drive vehicle. Front tires were brand new, 1030 seconds, and the back tires were at 430 seconds, which during the inspection, we found the power transfer unit leaking because it's basically overheating. So that is a very simple thing that you can avoid, which now that PTU has to be replaced because the damage has already been done because of the difference in circumference of the front tires compared to the back tires on an all-wheel drive vehicle. It can seriously damage parts on the vehicle, and it's not a ploy. It's not anything we're trying to take advantage. We're trying to basically eliminate the possibility of you causing more damage to the vehicle with an all-wheel drive vehicle.
And I got several problems in that particular situation or scenario or instance. Is that going back to what we talked about and training that we do and to avoid steps like that, or a customer receiving that experience, is that customer went somewhere.
Yeah.
They had those tires put on somewhere.
Right.
And somebody didn't advise them, didn't catch it, and that's horrible. So
yeah, that's exactly right. The fact that knowing, I'm assuming that those technicians knew the danger of doing that, and so that's unfortunate. But the thing with us is, I'm glad we caught it and we're able to educate the customer.
Yeah, in that particular situation, sure. So we've got a caller on the line here. We're getting Goose patched through. He's got an event going on out at KID we're going to talk about. So Goose, you're on live with Under the Hood. How's things going?
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning. So you got a big deal going on out there, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. We started off with just putting the schedule together, picking up where things had started. And there's actually a bracket racing program that started up called Boss Babes. And after we looked into it a little further, we found that we wanted to draw some attention and direction to it, just for the simple fact that it's bringing on new racers, and they don't have to have a race car to do it. And so long story short, we reached out to some of our sponsors: Auto Smart, Smart Choice Powertrain, A&S Metal Recycling, Team Mohawk Racing out of Oklahoma, Mel Hambelton Racing joined in, Red Racing Engines, Devil's Blue, and BCC. And we have built this pot up to a little over 4,000. Our goal is to get $5,000 out for these girls, and it'll be Saturday, 4:23 in the evening, starting up approximately 7 o'clock that Saturday, right after the NHRA bracket racing with all the guys starting off in the morning. But we're going to focus on this and see if we can't build up the Boss Babes and make something cool out of it. And so we wanted to first and foremost thank all the sponsors for just jumping right in. I talked to Phil, and Phil didn't bat an eye. He said, you guys were in, and next thing we know, we've got over $4,000 in there.
That's very cool. That's awesome. Very cool to start that out. So as far as a class of car, what do you got? What do you got to have to be in this deal?
Got it, Josh. I'm anticipating a Voyager van winning this.
Yeah, that is awesome. Yeah. So that's
it come right down to what mom brings in, or whoever, as long as it's a female. We're gonna shoot them down to where they can get a time on their car. They're gonna dial in, and rumor has it one of these Plymouth Voyager vans are gonna beat Fred Kaufman.
That is awesome.
That's legit.
Yeah, that is awesome. So that is that'll be a very exciting to see. But then not only that, it's a great opportunity for somebody that otherwise wouldn't be out there. A great opportunity for them to be able to do that. So that is very cool.
That's right. And our big challenge is to all you guys that are out there racing to get your wives out there. It's got to be a street legal car, daily driver. Regardless of what you guys are running, these guys want an even power train to be focused on, and so they don't have to go build race cars, and they can just go out and enjoy the evening and leave the laundry to the guys.
Nice. Nice.
Get to clean up afterwards, right?
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know how productive I'm going to be if I'm doing laundry. So.
Well, that is that's very.
If you're not doing laundry, you better be lining her up.
Yep, that's right.
Well, very cool. That's a impressive pot for sure. I think this is something that'll definitely grow wings and take off. So next weekend, Saturday, and that it starts at what time?
The Boss Babes are going to start approximately 7:00 p.m. But keep in mind, we'll be there all day due to the bracket racing going on. The gates will open at 8 in the morning. The concessions, the girls did a wonderful job out there. We couldn't have asked for a better day. We did have a couple of oil downs, but I think that's just part of the course. But we're looking forward to this.
And I would say too that the length of time, that those took to clean up, you guys were on it for sure from that side of things. And I happened to have the opportunity to get some biscuits and gravy out there. That was phenomenal as well. So very excited to. Yeah. So very, very excited for you guys. And, this is going to be another exciting event out there. I think everything went real well this last weekend as well. So
I see nothing but positive things happening. Nothing but positive.
Blue skies, right?
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, but don't start thinking.
Yeah,
no, I'm not. Don't worry about it.
You don't have to worry about that. So, hey, thanks for the call. Thanks for the update. And if you want to enter the Plymouth Voyager van or any one of those other vans, that's a pretty massive pot to go after.
There you go.
For that. So definitely be there.
Right. And I welcome any of you business owners that are out there to give us a call and throw your name in the hat. We've got a lot of sponsorships available. We're not asking for the track. We're asking for the Boss Babes. We want to make this a huge payout, not just for one, but maybe for 4.
Very cool.
Very good.
Very good. Well, Goose, thanks for the call. And again, it's a great partnership that we have. And thanks for everything you do out there at the track.
I wouldn't say it's a great partnership. I'd say it's a phenomenal.
There you go.
Well, there you go, Goose. We appreciate it, buddy.
You got rock, man. Take care.
Take care.
All right. Well, very cool. So, lot happening today.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Sure. So we'll kind of recap everything we talked about from the maintenance side of things and what the maintenance needs are on these vehicles. Again, Goose out at KID, they've got their big deal next weekend for the Boss Babes. That's going to be very awesome. If you're looking for some racing action this weekend, Bar to Bar's the place to go there. With the Loretta Lynn's, the Central Area qualifiers. So, just driving down Mays Road, I seen all sorts of trucks and trailers and like the transit vans that I know they all had motocross stuff in, and they were headed out there. So that's a big deal for those guys out there. So thank you all the listeners and people that were online and joined us this week for sure. Scotty, thank you for joining me today and filling in for Phil while he's up in Hayes making things happen up there. That's going to be very excited. He's I'm sure he's cold up there, but going to come home with a win.
Yeah.
So
get it done.
Then take a little bit of time. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the show, which is BG Products, all the great preventative maintenance that we use right inside here, Mel Hambelton Ford. We've got Big Corner Creative if you're looking for any type of marketing or advertising. Race car wraps, designs, tents, those guys are your guys. As they say, just Google them. And then Go To Rent. So if you're looking for a larger vehicle to go on summer vacation, you need a transit van for something, stand your guy right in here inside Mel Hambelton Ford. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us this week, and we will talk to you next week.